Luxury isn't always found in price tags or plane tickets. Sometimes it's in a slow morning, a peaceful mind, or a room that smells like your future self. Welcome to your star forecast for the week of Monday, the 5th of May. I'm your host and astrologer, Kristy Gray. And this week on According to My Astrologer, it's time to romanticize your life, but with real intention. We've entered May with a noticeable shift in tone. Less emotional overwhelm, more fire in the sky. 6 celestial bodies are now in fire signs. The Moon and Mars are in Leo, and Chiron, Mercury, Venus, and Neptune are in Aries. But this doesn't mean chaos. In fact, the astrology of this week is relatively calm. But it is potent. Because Pluto has just stationed retrograde, and Mercury is preparing to ground itself into Taurus. So the stars are asking, what does a truly fulfilling life look like to you? And more importantly, are you willing to define luxury on your own terms? So let's backtrack with the astrology of this week and get granular with the cosmic 411. So starting the week off, we have these 6 fire sign activations. And this abundance of fire energy brings momentum, expression, and a hunger for personal agency. But it's not a pushy week. Instead, it's energized. So you may feel more motivated to express your truth, initiate something new, or finally take action on that soul nudge you've been sitting on. This is a moment to turn up the heat on your desires, but also refine what those desires actually are. Let's talk about Pluto retrograde in Aquarius. And this begins on May the 5th and will continue until October the 14th. Now, before I go into the details of this retrograde, it's really important to note Pluto's orbit, because Pluto moves approximately 2 degrees every year. So it's our slowest celestial moving body. And it also takes Pluto 248 years to orbit the entire zodiac. So when it hits retrograde, it's going to be in this transit for quite some time. But Pluto's retrograde is a subtle but powerful undercurrent to our year. So it's definitely not an energy that you'll feel like a lightning bolt. It's one, though, that will slowly excavate deeper truths. So some questions to ponder, reflect on, or to ask yourself is, where have I handed over my power in the name of progress? What narratives around control, community, or future identity am I ready to rewrite? And am I chasing transformation? Or am I ready to become it? While Pluto starts its retrograde cycle, on May the 6th, Mercury will sextile Jupiter. And this transit is expansive for mindset shifts and also visionary thinking. So if a bold idea pops into your mind this week, I want you to trust it. This is a green light moment for initiating conversations, exploring possibilities, or mapping out something for the longer term. And then on May the 7th, Venus will sextile Pluto retrograde. And there's definitely a magnetic pull here, especially around relationships, values, or desire. When Venus is in Aries, it definitely isn't soft. She's assertive, she knows what she wants, and she doesn't wait to be chosen. Paired with this connection to Pluto, this can deepen your understanding of what you are magnetizing and whether it's aligned with your self-worth. And then on May the 10th, right up until May the 26th, Mercury, our planet of communication, will enter Taurus. And this is where the energy begins to ground. Mercury, when it's in this constellation, is deliberate. It doesn't rush the thought process. It allows space for contemplation, embodiment, and calm. So this transit is a moment to start curating your version of luxury. but not just through thought, but through practice. So, with this undercurrent of luxury in this week's stars, I wanted our theme of the week to embody this. So, our theme this week is to create your luxury list, because luxury isn't about excess, it's about intention. And this week, I want to invite you to build your luxury list, a personal manifesto of what feels abundant, beautiful, and aligned to you. So here are some prompts to get you started this week. What does luxury look like to you today versus what you were taught it should look like? Where in your life are you still hustling for approval instead of choosing peace? And what are the quiet, small luxuries that your future self craves? Think silk pillowcases, your phone on Do Not Disturb, maybe it's an afternoon nap, a bold no, or a solo dinner under candlelight. So your astro strategy tip of the week is to block time this week to actually feel into your luxury list. Not just intellectualizing, but embodying. Ask what feels good in my body, what calms my nervous system, what inspires me, not from ego, but from soul. And then choose one thing from your list to integrate this week. Not someday, not next season, now. So our mantra for this week is my life is the luxury, my presence, the power. Thank you for tuning in to According to My Astrologer for your weekly dose of cosmic wisdom. This week, I hope you chose softness, slowness, and self-definition, not because you're falling behind, but because you're finally tuning in to what truly matters. And until next time, keep exploring the stars within and without.